Yes, I know. We are getting ourselves a late start here this morning. On this cloudy, rainy Winnipeg morning. No sunrise again. But let's not belabor that and talk about it all day. Let's move on here. We are still not finished with these. There's, remember these little things? Well, you probably can't see them, but we'll put the macro lens on later so you can. And they are supposed to go on the front of these turrets here somewhere. And I was online this morning for quite a while. I went on the Hood Association website and places like that I thought I'd be able to find a photograph, an actual photograph of what these things look like. And the only one that the Hood kind of shows you, you don't really see anything on the front of these. So I don't know. Let's stick the macro lens on here and take a look. They're over here. They're called Photo Etch D29s, and possibly if we move in really close, we'll be able to see what it is Trumpeter has in mind. Because in reality, I don't know if those UP rocket launchers actually had anything like that on there. Was this maybe something? Well, we'll talk about it when we zoom in. Let's just get this thing on and have a nice close look. Okay, up until just a moment ago, I had thought that these things were supposed to go on the front. But now looking at the part here, I realize that they're actually supposed to go, I guess what you might call the back of it here. So let's just turn this over here. And so that means that they have to go somehow. Trying to pick up tweezers here. All right, it looks like the orientation is, it would really help if a person knew what they actually are. It shows here that it goes right there, which is actually right there that I'm trying to touch right now. Okay, it's supposed to go right there. And then another one is supposed to go right there. Now you can see that the it does look like it is shaped a little bit. Does that mean that part of this is supposed to, like this V-shaped thing, is it supposed to kind of hang down, or just what is it supposed to be? This is another case of where I believe the instructions could have had a. I better quit poking at it, or I'm going to ping it off out of arm's reach. It'll be gone. I think we could try and put these on, maybe paint them black first and then just drop them down somehow after it's dry. It just doesn't make any sense to me that Trumpeter would not show more clearly exactly how these are supposed to go. I mean, we're looking at it with the macro lens. I mean, who's going to be looking at it that closer or closer than that? No, is it a case of that further on? There's in the instructions it shows it, but I've sort of perused ahead a little bit, and I can't see anything. So I don't know what we're going to do here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's only 9 of these things. And yes, I did get the one off the manual here that we're just looking at. So obviously I've lost one. Now, like the Pontos detailing kit or any detailing kit, it would have been an exercise in frustration for me. And I'm not going to put these on. I think that they are just too small and too insignificant in the overall scheme of things. I'm not going to bother. Yeah, if you're the person that likes to go into detail, well, go for it. It's going to be on the back of these things anyway, where it's going to be out of sight, not going to be seen, because these will be facing out. Possibly the one that is sitting on top of the turret, you might have seen them. But being is that I couldn't find them in photographs, they can't be that important. They must have been something. We've beat this to death. Let's move on here. Let's move on and assemble one of the. I'm guessing this would be possibly a anti-aircraft gun here. What is this thing here? Well, it doesn't say what it is. Anyway, we're supposed to make 7 of them. So let's get at it. It's going to take a while. We'll make one on camera and then I'll do the other 6 and try and get them done. Now, as well as getting a late start this morning, my neighbor picked up my groceries for me, and I got majorly sidetracked. Yeah, part of my groceries was some Brussels sprouts and some celery and some, of course, a bunch of other stuff. Now, I'm making Brussels sprouts and celery soup, and also I threw in a head of romaine. So this is going to be interesting. I've never made anything like that before. Now, I did flavor it. I used a little bit of allspice and a little bit of cloves. We'll see how this is later today. I'll let you know tomorrow. Anyway, that's going to sort of cut into model table time. So this episode is going to be a little bit short. Sorry about that. Okay, you know how I like to be honest in my videos. Well, I may as well be honest here. I'm having a real hard time getting into the model today for some reason. It doesn't take a whole lot to get me sidetracked. I didn't mention that earlier this morning I made a custom-made knife here. And maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. It has something to do with the groceries that came today. Anyway, we got our sprues here. We need the G sprue. It looks like all the parts, as near as I can tell, are on the G sprue. And I'm going to guess it says make 7, but I got a feeling we're probably going to be able to make 8. Because it appears to me like there's 8 of everything. Okay. Now, in less than an hour, my neighbor's coming over for coffee. So I've got to do the final edit and get this uploaded onto YouTube. Don't want to take a chance that YouTube is slowing down again, and I want it to be up and running by 8 p.m. Winnipeg time. As you know, I've beat that to death as well. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow, and I'll tell you what this is all about.